Hello, Kusha, and welcome to Oran Football Special, a program like all time where they discuss, dissect, and digest what you they talk about when it comes to everything football and members in a priority solution. The Power Oran Football Special, supported by Oran, the lead telecom service provider in the country. The company we care about what matters to you, the widest coverage in the country. They ensure that on weekly basis, you get issues discussed in depth as far as football is concerned, both within the country and outside the country. Keep watching.
Orange money don't put yagba pa me. The only thing I get for do for make bill payments na for dial #144#. Select 3 for make payments. Select 1 for ETSA. Enter almost money I want buy in Leons. Enter me 11-digit ETSA meter number. Enter me password for confirm and press send. You go receive a confirmation message na your phone. You see? 1 yagba you no get. Orange money. Me phone, me couple.
Orange.
You welcome back to the show. You're watching Oran Football Special with me, Engineer Mohammed Benson. And coming up in the show, we'll tell you exactly what happened in the big meeting with the Premier League board called together with the 14 Premier League clubs and for decide on the fate of the league and of course for decide on which 2 teams can represent the country, if any, in the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup respectively. And for sure, for help me discuss this, I don't be joined, by two of the 3 teams where the meeting come up with for ensure that then discuss between and among themselves and agree on which 2 teams represent the country before the board and of course the FA take a final decision as to who represent the country. On my right is Eastern Lions, represented by Alpha Rashid, the assistant team manager. You're welcome, Mr. Rashid.
Welcome, viewers.
Thank you very much. The Killers.
The best team at the country.
No argument. You guys are the defending champions. Of course, I get on my left, Eric Lansana, Technical Director, Bow Rangers.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How about us starting with this discussion for Lord Ina, give me a general impression on how I feel given the break where the lead gets, after we don't get a very good start. I remember Bow Rangers hosting Bow Rangers hosting Cambo Eagles in Kenema and be one of the highlights of the league. Cambo Eagles hosting Eastern Lions in Kenema was also another highlight of the league. Big matches. But today, disappointingly, COVID-19 not creeping after Rashid.
Yeah, as for Eastern Lions, we not feel good because we be looking that this year again might be the year of Eastern Lions because we don't promise we supporters and say where we start for winning, so we will have to win 3 consecutive years.
Okay.
And that will be done put on to we supporters them and then get the belief in the way, then see how we should be the player and not say for sure. And I'm going to be this again, I'll be here, but again, now we look at the COVID, not to Salon one grade. They go the one right around the world, everybody suffer, every single somebody suffer through the COVID. But if not so again, because we really look and say, they allow we play with the first rounds done or they allow we play the league. But if not that's again the Premier League board get for come up with, we just get for support because we want for the game play.
Okay. Disappointment or general expression about the league coming to an abrupt halt?
Certain things and you don't get control over them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural cause. It's sad. We're very disappointed in the fact that we don't gain momentum.
Okay.
That we were on top of the league, and when you check the league table, even from the very first 3 games, you see say we were joint leaders with Cambo Eagles. We go into the league with a focus of wanting to win the league. So we get a nosedive. 1 or 2 games, we shake it up a bit, which was very important for make them track we back and say, hey, you're not there yet. But we don't recover from that and we get ahead on now. We don't develop momentum. And when it come to a halt, it was just sad. We're disappointed because we don't put a foot on the pedal and we just press for go on.
Okay, I'm not put 2 foot on the pedal and just be the press for go on the words of Eric Lansana, Technical Director of Bow Rangers. Now I'll go through this question again to the 2 of you now. Given the fact that I don't go into a meeting, I think last week, yes, to be precise, And of course, in that meeting, the 14 Premier League clubs were represented together on the board for basically decide on the fate of the league, that is one, and of course for decide on which two teams can represent the country. As a way of outcome of that particular meeting, it was agreed that A, the league be cancelled, and of course 3, out of the 14 clubs then, be choosing, for them also, let them put the 3 at the table, if you like, and of course, out of the 3, they will choose 2 for represent the country. What's on a general impression also, given that particular meeting? Firstly, the pre-meeting, the meeting, and the post-meeting so far. Let's talk about pre-meeting proper.
Well, interestingly enough, Alpha Rashid and me don't meet different for us.
Okay.
And this is something we don't actually really discuss. It's about time, they call the teams together and have a discussion about this. It's like 2 months ago we've thought about this. We don't go on radio and talk about them. But one commend the league board for actually, call teams together. They get a mandate actually for make a decision, waiting and think for happen. But I think it was just on the basis they need for get all the teams together for talk to them. We talk about unanimously agree for council league. After Rashid, you were there in the meeting?
No, okay.
But nothing was put into vote or anything.
Okay.
But it was a very successful meeting.
Okay.
I was impressed with the fact that for once, with all the bickering in football, when you don't want to say things in the fight, it was a meeting wherein there was no fight. We had peaceful discussions, and then in the end, the board come up with some kind of decision, wherein to me, honestly, from your point of view, it differs from other people. And I sit here in the capacity of Eric Lansana, not being sent to the management for Ball Rangers. So what I say, not to an official statement from the club. But I think, if we're going to cancel the league, I think it's just straightforward and obvious that what other countries don't do, you cancel the league as it is. The first 2 teams go on to represent the country in CAF. Not to a situation where you let it go sit down and negotiate. If you're doing that, then what's the point? Now, there were so many things brought into the picture about we filtered down to 3 clubs. One, they talked about financial strength.
Muscles,
And then we Ball Rangers want to make it categorically clear that we no one use financial superiority, as people call it, for go to a competition. We want for go to a competition on merit basis. If any time I use financial situation, they tell well on the league, because one, if not for that, like Man United, they play Champions League every year. Let's talk before winning the Premier League. But clubs can get money, but not the money. You don't use money for buy position. You have to earn it. And me personally feel, regardless of funds or anything, if we are to go to any competition, Champions League, it has to be something that we merit. Not to say, just saying, Ball Rangers get money, they can afford them, let them go. No. It throws a wrong message to clubs who probably are good physically, like a good structure, will do very well in the field of play, they perform well. So if you say this club will perform really well and in the win title they don't get money, therefore take a back step. So no, we not be one to let you reach.
Financial status is a non-starter.
It's a non-starter for us. For me, as concerned, it's a non-starter. Although it's nice to have the financial backing, which I can say here we do have, but we no one for be recommended based on financial situation. No, we want to go to a competition on merit basis. And if you look at the league table, it's clear that when we start the league, the first 3 games, we were joint league leaders. And then, other games then get played, and then we come back up. You see, we start the league leading, and then where the league come to a stop, we were leading. So that tells you we were consistent in our plan of leading this league from start to finish.
Okay. Alpha Rashid?
Yes, I just want to tell me about that. Thank you. Like you say, no look at money business, but now look at regulations. If we want to talk now, say this league don't cancel by rights, by regulations, this league in council want for don't stop everything. That's not the pure facts. We not for beginning even they think now say would have a fly or would not the fly. By regulations, you can go, you look back you last league and see the winners and automatically.
That just come in. Talking of fair play, we're talking of a situation where Ball Rangers nor the league, nor the FA, or the world, or the country, as it be put on earlier, but they expect COVID-19 for camp. So clearly, this is not a force majeure situation. Nobody expected. Nobody no really foretell the future that this was going to happen.
True.
That means every other person will play out there, but they play for go to the top. And then it happen now, say, other teams that will play less number of matches, and the one then play more than them. Then this situation is where it is now, as far as this issue is concerned. Granted that teams that will get more matches for play, you understand, compared to others, but that is the situation.
And now we suffer the greatest.
Exactly. And as it is now, the 14 Premier League clubs and the board don't take decisions. Say we cannot play again.
Good.
So, given what we now discussed in that meeting, what now you take as far as a club East Alliance is concerned?
No, as far as East Alliance is concerned, we know say we they go play.
Champions League.
Of course, yes, we believe in that. And if we go into regulations on how the game,
you go each for tell this program more.
Yes, just when you cancel a league, we don't see how from other countries there. The moment when you cancel a league, when you go to the last league, you can look. You say, okay, me, no take from the last league. You see, the last Saturday,
so it means it did take place.
It did take place. So that is the distinction there. It wasn't as if no league, no activity took place. It did take place, but natural disaster, pandemic happened, so it got cancelled. So now that when you look at countries like Gambia, they did it. When do you think come to a halt? Because of COVID? I said, you know what? As it is, as it stands, the first two go represent CAF. They've done it in Gambia. They not go back say, no, go last legal. No. What's different from we?
The difference between we and Gambia, and that's one you should understand now. Okay. Now, we play, Gambia, the league where they play, everybody don't play the same game. That's not the difference between we and Gambia.
Okay.
And for we, if we want to look at how they will go look and say, that's the Premier League board, they try for cheat on we, because we on games time, we don't get date for play, now they push the game Gambia. Now look this angle again. And the day we for play, we number 11th game, now the day government announced for council, because like this way the talk
the week you are supposed to play on the Saturday at
no the Wednesday we for play. Okay. Now Wednesday government announced all thing because we don't already when we train on a Tuesday. When we train Tuesday, it was simple. Kista don't call the team they go camp. We don't tell them say that morning everybody for the camp. Now that morning the government announced. No, we look now they say government be say okay the Saturday. If we don't play, we game on that Wednesday day. But we just know ever they say that.
Yeah, the thing now is all of this is in the past now because like you mentioned, the pandemic don't struck. The Premier League board not
people this the pandemic struck, but now we look again like how they talk about other countries for sure. Then we self critical. We ask government say let we for fair play. In terms of fair play.
Ask government not play behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors, yes. We just finish the.
Well, we'll go for a quick break and come back and continue this particular discussion. We'll come back, we'll take exactly, waiting Cambo Eagles get for talk as far as this issue is concerned, because among the 14 clubs choosing, Cambo Eagles say, among the 3 clubs chosen by the 14 Premier League clubs and the PLB, Cambo Eagles they among, but they're not there, unfortunately, which we're on set. However, we have an insert, from the manager, Brahma Mazola, where you go come out, we'll go bring, after this break.
Let me tell you something. Orange don't bring something for you and me, yeah. Whether you know me from
Baby, that is Spark the throw give you juicy data bundle for enjoying our Facebook and WhatsApp. Guess 1.2 gigabytes for 9,500 leons weekly. We give you 1.2 gigabytes for free as you join. So Spark, get some nice.
Orange.
Welcome back to the show. Interesting discussion indeed here in the studio. I mean, with me, Engineer Mohammed Benzimba on Oran Football Special, together with, Alpha Rashid, we represent East Alliance, and of course, Eric Lansana for Bow Rangers, discussing, on the decision with the Premier League board and together with the 14 Premier League clubs and take sometime last week in relation to the league proper, and of course, decision on which two teams then represent the country in the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup. Like I mentioned, Eastern Lions being one of the clubs, Bow Rangers another, and of course, Cambo Eagles not there. But before we get to Cambo Eagles insert, let's just listen to it in the Premier League board chairman get for say in relation to the outcome of the meeting.
What necessitated the meeting? We've been playing football. Started playing football this next season on the 4th of December, and as of the time when they slammed the ban, we had played almost half of the matches that were supposed to have been played in the league. And as to the number of matches, we still got quite a few matches still remain to be played. But with the wash at the COVID thing and just the thing say this will pass, just like like you say, these two shall pass.
Okay.
So we are buying time, At one point in May, we were able to communicate to CAF via the Federation for say we still wanted to play football because we honestly thought we still had the month of May, we still had the month of June and perhaps July. But we don't see today as I speak is the 15th of July and we're not coming through in terms of like lifting restrictions. Very recently, they get for ease some restrictions with regards mosques and churches forget resume congregational prayers. And football, unfortunately, was not among, but for very good reasons. We know when it comes to the interest of the state, us as citizens, government takes it very, very seriously. And that is why I said, no. I mean, let us still observe the COVID-19 protocols and see. So, with what you say, now this is July, mid-July. By the time perhaps government will lift the restrictions, we'll be in August. And we all must say it will be very, very challenging for us to play in August, economically viable for the teams, good for the players themselves in terms of the physique and so on and so forth. And very recently, there's correspondents out there from CAF they say, look, we need to get to a position as to whether we will be represented from the CAF qualifier and championship as well as the Federation. So when we saw that, we said, we needed to meet with the clubs. What do we do in this circumstance? How do we go about it? What's the way forward? This is the situation. We're bogged down by COVID-19. It's not unique to us. It's happening in other jurisdictions across the world. And so what do we do? So we engage them as a football family. We bring them. We're very mindful of how important the clubs are. They are very major stakeholders in the game itself. And so not just sit down as a board and say, no, this is what we're going to do. We say, okay, let us see our perspectives. We might come together and tell you, this is not the situation. Just like so many of them said in the hall, and say, we're not saying this was not created by you. Yeah. I mean, as us as a board, we understand. But not just like what we can say, the act of God. Right? Don't bring this thing come to me and so we can't fault anybody, but we needed to reach a decision as to what do we do. We have started playing, and teams they actually be on the long for win, we get in positions here and there and stop them. So we needed to make a decision. So that's why we call all of the clubs, And we don't only call clubs, we call very senior members of the clubs. Also, we I mean, we always get back to playing football, but if we can actually prevent ourselves, you understand, and not really get ourselves at risk of this COVID thing, we can do so. So basically, that's the kind of thing. So we slowly say, football is not going to be played. All the teams have not played the same number of matches. So what do we do in this circumstance? The clubs say unanimously and come up say, board members, what we think is for the league to be cancelled. That will be the fairest thing to do in this circumstance. And if you cancel the league, would they say no team is going to be relegated also? Because no team has been given the opportunity. And in all fairness, because the team, even with the team at the bottom of the league, we don't see them. The first half of the league not even done it. So if we say no, because you did bottom, you relegate, no, it will be unfair to the team. So and don't see, and we don't have in other jurisdictions, so don't see them precedents from other jurisdictions. So we decided to say, okay, we'll cancel the league. Having said that, having cancelled the league, we say, okay, in light of the fact that we all want return to the international scene. We want club competition to get to the international scene. The ministry inclined to that, the National Sport Authority, the Football Federation, and as a board, and even the supporters, they want to see teams come from abroad for camp play. It boosts the game, it increases the country in profile. and so on and so forth. They expose the players, then gives them an opportunity for showcase their talent and stuff. And so it was unanimous by the clubs themselves for saying, okay, as much as we don't cancel the deal, but let us get representation. So then we got to that point where we say, you know what, we're not talk amongst ourselves. Now, we set parameters for them for reaching a decision as to which clubs they really think they represent. Already, yes, the league has been cancelled, but we'll be still mindful of the league table. We'll just pass where it is, because not to just see somebody say, oh, I want one. You understand? Again, for being with not only the capacity in terms of finance, but also even your team preparedness. And for what it's worth, we can able to use that for ourselves, because if you don't play, all the teams had played at least 10 matches, at least. All the other teams, and one team don't play 10, the other team we don't play 12 and 14 matches. And so we are fair enough for we say, okay, based on the league standing, within this bracket, these teams can actually sit together and tell us what they think, and there and then they sat together and some teams said, you know what, we don't think we are really prepared to participate, so we'll give the opportunity to other teams, and that's what they did. So as we speak, we have 3 teams who actually don't show up, say they want to represent us. We all know when they follow football scene, we only have space for two teams for represent 2. So it's going to be a decision that's going to be made by the board. But again, this board is a listening board. We always don't build a rapport between the board and the clubs. We don't do anything outside without confiding in the teams and actually get them to reach a consensus. So that's what we said to them. Now you have 3 clubs, and I go sit again. So until some clubs and they say, you know what, having thought about it, have a rethink, having thought about it, we don't think we can participate, you understand? So automatically it reduces it to 2. Then it will be a very easy decision for the board. However, if they all 3 come and say everybody put just say they want to participate, the board gets benchmarks that they use now. So then it falls within the prerogative of the board for say these 2 teams, this is going to play this competition and this is going to play this other competition. So that is that. But for what it's worth, we're giving it to the clubs to go sit down and discuss it.
Interesting insight from the chairman of the Premier League board, Aliu Vandi, and of course that discussion they really much hinge on what they discuss now. But key among the things that we mentioned are the fact that the three clubs and get responsibility for consults between and among the 3 and come out with 2 teams or take the decision. But regardless of which decision they come up with or not, the PLB will get the ultimate decision in relation to nothing they will communicate to the FA and the executive committee for take decision on that.
Well, that's not so anything bad, obviously. The 3 clubs, like we say, we just get for meeting. We show we own the reasons why everybody ability to get for showing the reason why.
When I don't meet at all, yeah, we can be supposed for
no, the 3 clubs,
3 days.
No, the 3 clubs don't meet it, but we get on to Monday.
Okay.
We get on to Monday when at tomorrow.
Today. No? Yes, today.
we for meeting. We see we believe say one of the provincial clubs will get for step down because we didn't at the city now. Okay. We are the daddy them and we are the defending champions. So we'll see the 2 brothers them really very close.
No, so just before I take this over to Eric, I want to ask you, in your kind opinion and knowledge in football, on which grounds you think say one of the 2 provincial clubs, and we already they lead the league table by 1st and 2nd respectively, go drop out, giving East Alliance an opportunity?
Okay, for we, East Alliance, we know the look and say now 1st and 2nd respectively. We not get that thing there because we know say a fair play be take place in terms of the game, for sure. That way now we for the lead.
Okay.
Now we for the lead. We the look at us, the defending champions. Okay. So many other things that we want for looking into the game. They are back by them. Football and salon. Yes, the team way go boast of any angle where you turn. You see, Ubola and Severin are Bowen Judges with all respect. Then see how Manando at the league we make themselves look like yes, this now the defending champions. Mm-hmm. And that game too now be the best game now for me. Now the league. But and we then look about this now the city against the provincial teams. Or if we can still ask, we still out, we can still ask the Premier League about that. Then we dash them, we play how it will be. The first 2 teams qualify.
We'll come back and ask you on whether go finance particular games and about. I'll get a take from Eric.
You know, it's interesting, Paul. It's not like Eastern Lions get their own standards. They get their own, everything has to be done.
Set and managed by them.
It has to be done the Eastern Lions way. It's very interesting, but it's good for get that kind, commitment day, for get that kind, composure day. But it is what it is, We're not the bend the goalpost for Eastern Lions. I mean, when we want to talk about the two provincial teams and then the Dadina the city.
The Dadina the country.
Wow. That is your opinion. Football, unfortunately, I don't do it by region. Football is football. Not get region about football. And I think, within this league show so far, that then same provincial teams have we watch, and they first, second, third in the league, as it stood. Rangers, Cambodia Eagles, Diamond Stars. So we don't know how this Dadina the city camp.
No, because
but however,
fair play no counts.
Well, allow me.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
You are protected.
Thank you.
Yes, you are protected.
However, you see, it all boils down to fixtures, all right? Are the fixtures being done properly? Not for finding yourself in this situation. There are times when we play 2 games in 6 days, in 5 days. We play on a Friday, we play on a Tuesday. Why Eastern Lions sit down 18 days and not play? It make me wonder,
Then they try for Chitui.
Well, they try for Eastern Lions advantage.
No, then they try for Chitui.
How? Wait, them people that may not say Corona they
No, then
can.
they try for
Now
Chitui.
the other way around. Then they try for help now.
We game set.
No, allow me.
Sorry, sir, but that come on
Allow me. No, allow me.
Okay.
We nobody expect Corona.
Yes.
So what me feel say me they happen, then when they be given a leeway for sit down and watch what other teams don't play, where don't drop points, they will come and can get them and go above them.
Wow.
18 days. This was something
Wow.
I asked one of the Premier League board people. I said, hang on a minute. How long we make fixtures? Lions don't sit down 2 weeks and not play. We did play no more. What did it go on? But again,
Then they kill your spirit.
you go blame them, and then you go blame the facilities. It's all you see. This
Because
is all
of the
problem.
11 clubs that were there,
11 clubs
10 of
in
them
there.
are
The
using
Premier League
systems.
board, and they get the blame.
No, it's not just the
The
Premier
one
League
that will be
board.
they got the fixtures.
Yes.
Because we said we grumble. Say how? Because if you cross check, even that time they will sit down. So over we don't even play FC London. That's true.
Yes, we said. But
So why
you
then
got other teams them? You got other teams
then begin bend the business?
You got other teams that when they put fixtures for them and say we're not ready, then cancel them. So, it is what it is. It don't happen.
Okay.
But we not been the foresee Corona. All right, the brother Rashid. And this go back to the last league. I want to left and I want to shelf and like we the was close. You either put on a corner, you put on a corner. That's not gonna happen. I don't think the Premier League board or even people that we don't get involved in football now will tolerate that. One, that we don't create this scenario. We were not recognized by CAF FIFA without a suspension. So now league day, I let you win them by 100 points. No mean zilch. And then you go for represent CAF.
But
so what we talking about?
Now Eastern Lions now win 20.
Now local league, not a league recognized by CAF.
No, but
we were under suspension.
And then now
We
the
played.
league.
You know why we could play?
If you cross check
know why
now,
we could play?
any angle you go
You know why
see
we
Eastern
play
Lions
in a
win
league day? You know why we play in a league day?
Yes, sir.
Johansson play in a league day.
No, Johansson no play.
Aha. So you will tell that league they say. So if Johansson not play, if you recognize the league, then what you for those Johansson? If you relegate, then also.
Yeah, but they're not.
If you take now league,
they're not allowed nobody for relegate.
I'm saying if you take now league as a standard league,
Nobody
in
allowed
the
for
standard
relegate.
league, in the standard league, teams they promote, teams they relegate, not so. So if Johansson not take part in a league day, you know relegate them. How you call a league day? It was just a boxing league. Now league we play because we get a president with so much involved in football. He get love for sport. And he wanted the game to play, and he supported them 150%. At the first time in history, in Sierra Leone, you see them spend over 4 billion into football. I mean, league play because everybody was tired. Everybody wanted to play. We play on the pretext, and recognize we go play for enjoy ourselves. If we be honest to ourselves, if honest to be honest to ourselves, I should say you would tell me now, we play in a league day knowing that. We are under suspension.
Our
we play in a league day knowing that we're under suspension.
If
we play for revive football back.
If you say the league no make, I want to say again to this league self, we can't recognize them.
On which basis?
On in no end.
Okay.
In no end.
No, we're not going to special.
And when it not end, you know they take out the discipline.
So you want to compare this and the last league?
No, so that last league better pass this. Because this
Why they
one
govern football at the world?
because this one they talk about so in Mr. Producer, we look at we say no end. We not get winner in this league.
Yes.
We accept that.
Assistance.
Yes, we not get any winner. So we not get no.
We get league leaders.
Hey, no.
As it stood.
We not ever. They not ever.
Team
They
top in the
not.
league.
They not ever talk. They not ever talk about that. The Premier League board not ever talk about that. Say Kenneman are the league leaders or both are the league leaders. Kenneman are the gonna talk. They asked that in the meeting. The question was, near the 6 teams then. Where they
On which basis they choose the 6 teams? Then?
The 6 teams then.
From
from
bottom?
from first to
14
6.
Okay.
From first to 6.
We mean say they take league position into consideration.
Yes, the 6 teams then, because if Nana go let them for look, they for say okay, then 6 team here, let them.
They not include Diamond Stars inside of 60 because Diamond Stars.
Okay, the first 5 or any angle will turn
They take
out.
6, but not on the first 6.
And not be there. They ask now say, okay, let team share now wait this so. Una don't say go able. Una get the caliber no say I go fit for go represent Sierra Leone. We are in because we teams them don't they the last few years they they qualify. They won't qualify. We go pressure the FA. Pass the FA give $5,000 to the teams them. So because of the now want all that kind scenario this time, they say okay, Uda no say he capable. What you go able. You go represent Sierra Leone, you not ask the FA for €1,000. They say
from the position of the league standard, not just everybody in the league.
No, yes, from the position. So it's simple nowadays. Now so team they take FC Canon say no, we not go able. In Victor Nation team say they not go able. The team say they say we not go able. Now only Eastern Lions, Kenema and Bo say we believe say we go able.
Okay.
If not be 2 teams no more be accept say we go able, now them 2 teams they
okay. So now so go this discussion and bring in Cambo Eagles. You know, who side the general manager, the general manager of Cambo Eagles. You know, be get this. The chairman of Cambo Eagles be get this for say in relation to their own position because they are also talking from position of strength and then believe say then the second at the table by the league table they're supposed to represent the country in the CAF Confederation Cup or the CAF Champions League, if any.
Well, the Premier League board probably forget the mind of the clubs for saying that these now not believe say the game get for play, putting away your division. According to the way they present the team, CFC say yes. Now the game not get for play. But if the game not the play, how we get for go represent? What are they for go represent? Okay. Yes. 3 teams that the other team they all back up. 3 teams that I left like me, Cambo Eagles, Eastern Lions and Bo Rangers. Okay. We say we qualify for go represent. Okay. Well, now we'll talk this. But this game of this team of Premier League they play, we get something like a cup. If somebody be winner, they give the Premier Cup, and we get for Smarty for getting a Turkey, we get check Mountain and Turkey. Now we don't talk about that. They don't answer that question. You see, as for me, the Cambo Eagles, if the team stops so, I will take Wilson away for the first because we play with Eastern Lions, who we don't play the game already done. Fans they make confusion. We would lead Eastern Lions 1 goal. 1 goal with 12 minutes ago. Yes. So when they come now, they say we for play 12 minutes of closed door, but we 1 goal stand. Now if you don't come in top now this COVID, what you go do to a goal? You go tell we say you not qualify or you disqualify or not. But if you not disqualify, now we automatically we don't go first. So when you take a decision, you have to think about them. Yeah, not to the Premier League board put in another clubs there. The Premier Talk say that they back out. Okay. They're not going to. Okay. So we this 3 team now we say we yobu. Okay. You see, not to the board. Okay. Disqualify any team. You see. Because why I stand by me first? I get goal against. If you don't disqualify now, what's that goal? Tell me. Now you get the power. If you say now this, I will talk to the Premier League board with disqualify.
Yes, then the chairman of Cambo Eagles on then take as a club so far as the decision we made in that meeting between PLB and the 14 Premier League clubs and concerned. We also talked to Tamba Kaibanja, you know, winner from Diamond Stars, and also get his own take as far as this league is concerned. Let's have a watch.
Everything a precedent. Kono don't benefit them. We are proud of that because it was by default when Ebola was here. We all see what happened. So because of that, we decide say, since we don't benefit as Kono, We are from the east. But we decide, say, since Kono don't benefit from precedent, say, when the Ebola can, now we benefit, now we champion, now we go to Casablanca, we decide, say, we they support the table as a day. Bo is leading, Kenema is second, and think Diamond Stars will make the talk, so me not third. So we believe, say, we will go by the table. Now they are asking questions, who have the capacity to fly among these 6, because 6-9 day, the board don't bring up, we get capacity, whether they did at the range. So they are debating on who that will go, but we don't take decision as Diamond Stars and clubs are there where I will recommend past 5. We don't say they support them will go.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, you know, giving them two inside there, I think it's very much interesting. Camry Eagles have a similar argument to that of Lions in relation to number of matches played. They think they had the where with you know, for ensure that they finish top of the league table, given the matches. They had 12 minutes match with Eastern Lions. You know, Eastern Lions is claiming they had more matches, like 3 to play. One of them at 12 minutes. With Camry Eagles leading by 1-0, and of course they'll be supposed to play Arslaf and also FC Kalong, winner being somehow top fixtures, if you like, you know, as the case may be. Now, the interesting aspect of this whole discourse will therefore do with Kono Diamond Stars, because the Tamba Kambaja come out clearly and say, then they don't be in this situation before during the Ebola. You know, Wusai, they may get an opportunity, courtesy of default position of the league, you know, because of the Ebola outbreak, you know, they be able to represent the country after we, how do I call it, Eastern Lions, you know, be failed for represent the country where the executive committee of the FAB don't register them for play. It also lead to suspension of Eastern Lions during that particular time, guys.
Yes, like we Kaibanja say, 2014, we just don't play 14 games. Each team, all the teams don't play 14 games.
21-20.
No, 14 games. Okay. And for sure, Eastern Lions, we are leaders. But we look again, the FA come on board say, we want una fly.
So the viewers go on for no to be up exactly where the league stop at just 14 matches.
Yes, Ebola come on board, but okay. The FA make sure say all the teams then play exact games, the same games, because for we the Ebola don't come, they allow we force, they give we time, then we all play with games then. When and that's at the expect.
But there's something I want for clear, Naya. I mean, speaking from the devil's advocate point of view, you know, the Ebola not been stop the league from how do I put it? Not to the Ebola be stop the league from playing. This league here start the first rounds done, and then you guys had a break for begin the second rounds, and then Ebola came.
We play 1-1 game. We play 1-1
during
game.
the Ebola?
Yes.
Okay.
We play 1-1 game.
Okay.
That 1-1 game they will play now the halt camp. Okay. We all don't play the same way. Even though we now be league leaders, the FA ask that we
represent the country in the CAF Champions League.
Yes. The team what they say now, we just need fair play. We don't get from the chairman of Kenema. Instead the bra say, instead they get this, they get. Then when we want for say Eastern Alliance again, not so much of our community team. Eastern Alliance a country team. I can tell you this, na country team. And because na country team, we get all the might, all what it takes. Because if you check the team where Eastern Alliance gets, and nothing can compare to Eastern Lions. It's just right now. Because if you cross-check in the national team, what I can tell you, so Eastern Lions get 13 players than the national team. Eastern Lions. Right now? Yeah, of course, yes. If you check from the goalkeeper, come right down. All that will force them to complete the national team. So I tell you, no, the might Eastern Lions gets. Nothing you can compare.
If you say every player did merit,
of course, yes. That's not 100%.
You know, Alpha Rashid.
Why?
You know, I mean, now we left this. It's allows now a salon team. Every team in the Premier League is a salon team, because even if Central Parade goes.
Okay, now guys, you decide why they talk about salon team. And inside ball, where we not so. If you cross check, the supporters they waste the allowance get it. Come on. You know, you're not small. So I can tell you that.
So we not get supporters in Africa?
No, they get, but we get all angles. This guy around this country.
You know, this. And while you left this, you know what you do so, you know, right?
Why?
Okay, because every team gains strength. Every team has a team. If Central Parade were representing a CAF, I believe say the whole country will be in Central Parade. We say Eastern Line has a team. That's just like any other team has a team.
You say Kenema saying a district team, but we not the whole country team.
No. I mean Kenema district, Kenema. I just say that they represent this.
Well, we there the whole country. Okay. Any side we go.
Yes, fine. Eastern Lions.
Good.
But at East End, na Freetown. East End.
East End Lions. Not say Eastern Freetown. Freetown already.
When I check on origin, Eastern Lions.
Eastern Lions, I accept.
Eastern Pado, Eastern Lions. So we not say we're not area at the East. Now Western area. Period. But however, that's a salon team, just like any other team. I want to left this. You see, you talk something in
the whole they go Kono.
You talk something in
the whole they go Kono. And the team say, when we reach Kono, we get support pass Kono, inside Kono.
Fine, don't let the Kono team now.
So now I make say, we not like is the one country. Anytime we go for Laos. Well, my town is okay.
Let's hear from you.
No, let's not talk about the football,
right,
football administration, football restructuring.
Yes, sir.
You know, you bring out some salient points about 2014. It's sad. It's sad in the fact that, I mean, we're guilty of using politics in football. And that alone don't damage the basic fabrics of football in this country. Even restructuring. I mean, what happened in 2014? It's sad. Because one person want go for something and thinking that if in team go pan the competition, they means they support the present regime. I mean, that was sad. So one person, because of your personal ambition, he put the whole team at the back. And we not the supporters them. We not support that. We not forget about what Lions will achieve, the Champions League, what Lions will go. We not support because we get the singular vision, say, this one person. However, Bo Rangers, as it is now, all right, politics is non-tolerance. We don't mix up politics in football. In fact, we embrace every other team. What we do, I mean, that's why we come up with this Rangers trophy. A trophy wherein every season now we call 3 different teams then. The idea is in the next 3 to 4 years, we'll get every team in the Premiership can play a ball in this Rangers Cup. We don't start with FC Cologne, we bring Cam Eagles and Diamond Stars. We did that because we realized there was high tension between Cam Eagles and Diamond Star in the last league war play, the friendly league war play. Sure. You know, the not government league war play. All right? There was high tension wherein there was fight and everything. We want to make peace. So we call them 2 teams them together. You know, we prefer say like Provincial Cup. We call Baibure Warriors. We just call them 2 teams them together and FC Cologne. Forget basically them teaming them together. So we being the host team plus 3 teams, we do not Rangers Cup Day. What we want to do beginning of this season, next season, and for call probably Lions, Blackpool
as the best team in the country.
No.
And we go win.
There you go again.
Yes.
There you go again. For call Lions, but Blackpool, not to when I told that for call. Now would are we? Because now
of course, yes.
But
for the whole
idea now forget and now unity, now cohesion now we want.
That's good.
We want to show we support us and say we are not fighting among each other.
Okay.
We have, you know, competition, but a healthy one. So we try for embrace. And because of that, we don't really care whether they win Slafa presidency or not Slafa president. All we say is football FA they run, football structures, we play game and let the people watch it.
Gentlemen, you know, just as we close on this particular segment of the show,
right?
Speaking from an take the Bo Rangers hat off, take the whatever it is, take the Eastern Lions hat off, and advise the Football Association in relation to choosing a team, if ever, or how this particular, you know, COVID-19, you know, affected league, you know, for be managed, you know, so much so that the peace and cohesion within football could be maintained.
From my personal point of view, and this is Eric Lansana, not Bo Rangers.
Yes.
This is me. I think you know, it will be sad for for negotiate which team and which team for go. I think it's out of respect that they should come up and say we're not talk. But I feel that as countries like Gambia don't want, the league end whose I end, not to anybody in fault.
The same games played.
Not to anybody.
You have your right.
Whether you play 1 game, whether you play 20 games, it's finished. It's not going to play. This league is done. There's no games going to be played. So it is what it is. We take the standing as it is. First, leaders. Second, go to CAF as Gambia did. Not to about money. Not to about... If then 2 teams here say, all right, You the first, you the second. By right, as a Nuna Gambia, the first two, and they recommend. If Unan Fitz are not able for goal, then the opportunity to other teams then. Now this, my brother we talked earlier in 2014, where they refuse for goal, then give chance to the person. But the first call should be as it stands. You the lead, okay. You the second, una go.
Okay.
However, if una decline,
okay,
then we can ask for that team.
Okay.
That's my personal.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
For me, it could be bars and fair play no did it.
Okay, tell us if
when me brother they talking about Gambia, I always they tell them. Gambia, they only reach at that point because all the teams then we don't play the same game. That's not complete fair play. And in any angle where you look football, even FIFA, what's in they put na the flag? All what's in they say fair play. Come on, how somebody go don't play? Not only the Premier League ball look, we make them say, una come, you always say you go capable, come, show you might or you strength. Because if all man be don't play the same game, I can tell you, that's not believe on this. If we all don't play the same game, like how the point the nation as we end, it will be perfect for we. Bo and Kenya.
Yeah, so in the absence of this, what are you suggesting as a person?
Well, for we, the Premier League board has the three teams for Sidon, where I believe say, even when we Sidon, we not get forget who that will say at the drop. So as the Premier League board don't say, now then get the final decision, then they take the final decision.
Okay, of course, now this we will take for this particular segment of the show. Now time for go for a quick break, and now we'll come back, we will tell exactly by way of restructuring football, what we need for do when it comes to players transfer, players management, and players ownership. Because I want to know also very much critical when it comes to today's game as far as Sierra Leone football is concerned.
Orange Money don't pull Yagba Pami. The only thing we get for do for make bill payments now for dial #144#. Select 3 for make payments. Select 1 for ETSA. Enter almost money I want buy in Leons. Enter me 11-digit ETSA meter number. Enter me password for confirm and press send. You go receive a confirmation message na your phone. You see? 1 Yagba you no get. Orange Money. Me phone, me couple.
Orange.
Now time for a lot of discuss, waiting to happen as far as players transfer is concerned, and also go mention on promotion and demotion of teams, because it's also very much important. Mostly when it comes to the Division 1 and Division 2 is very much critical. Take a critical look at Western area, for example, and get multiple teams that already playing at the league. If you go to the South, the East in a different case, the North in a different case. So it means Wusai a team go play from the South probably 4 matches and 6 matches and get an opportunity for reach a playoff. The Western region team get for play about 21 matches or more. How do we, ensure that this particular imbalance here be managed so much so that the teams coming from the provinces also don't really get that kind of battle, a test mentality there before they come to the league? Could it be a disadvantage or advantage on the part of Western region teams or the provincial teams? Let's get this started. Eric Lansana, TD.
I think, this promotion and relegation, for me, I want to start and first probably from the Premiership. I mean, we don't go Congress. We really
of course.
Then propose 18 teams.
Plus 4 teams, so it's going to be an 18-team league now.
So we need to know
how many teams will be relegated.
How many teams will be relegated?
That is yet to be known as far as the FA
for me,
is
with 18 teams, I think ideally if they relegate 3 teams, so it gives more competition. Now, when we begin to talk about Premiership, I don't know if that means I'm cutting era the count Premiership. The issue we may get with this Premiership now, the Division 1 teams, how do they get promotion to Premiership? Normally there are 2 slots there. You see, team don't qualify in a region, and it can't play playoff again. For me, playoff for be a third spot place. I mean, teams that forget automatic promotion. Why do you play? So why do you win your league? Hey, we don't win your league, you can't play playoff. Makes sense. So for me, as how they make Premiership, they should have thought it wise for create championship as well. What in do? Now we get the Southern Province, East, Northeast, Northwest, Western area, right? Now we propose 18 teams at Premiership. Why don't we, for heaven's sake, say, all right, for the Premiership, it's a huge jump from Division 1 to Premiership. It's a huge jump. The financial packaging is huge. Now, so for the CAF Premiership, you suppose for don't begin prepare yourself. So for me, I'll take the England style, Premiership, Championship. What we do, we take the best 4 teams from the south, the best 4 from the east, the best 4 from northeast, best 4 from northwest, then we'll go to 16 or so, and then 4 from western area. We make a championship. So the promotion of the Premiership comes from that championship. 3 teams relegate from the Premiership, 3 teams come from. So you not come by region. So the Division 1 goes back to the regions. So you win Division 1, then you come to the Championship.
Yeah.
So because when you look at them, you will say Division 1 day, south, east, north, western area. Then they go play for 2 slots. In the end, maybe not 2 western area teams that they go. So for me, you know to get regional balance going, it always creates this problem. So if we have the Division 1 regions, and then you promote into the championship, it gives you the opportunity for you begin learn how to travel nationwide for kind of Premiership.
Yes, that's clearly done a very good point where you don't mention. But one particular reason we probably, the one that we don't run the game, ensure that they run the Division 1 this way now because of finance. Because we know for sure, even when it comes to the Premier League, the teams in the struggle for pay players, let alone about movement of players.
Yes, for me, all the thing my brother say so 100% it in place.
So they not be there in place, but now 100%.
No, yes, it in place. now we're not even fit. Now we try to bring the game down. The 2 when we don't get, we say the next league we play 18 team go play.
Yeah.
For me, I would suggest say 3 relegate because now we say if not 2, we say they relegate. Come on, now that can make. When we reach another Division 1 day, now they die. Some games in Division 1 get die, pass
Premier League
games. Yes, because now we see Western area in general get over 20-something teams. Then for this way, I see them shape into two zones.
Yes,
they get 2 or 3 where they qualify for mid zones. Come on, when they don't qualify now. For can get the 2 or 3 where go come out from Western region, we go say for play the playoff, die there now, big time. So the question be say if
the first die stage, and when you reach the playoff proper,
you can imagine. You see, it's nice, but the problem once we see how we correct now the finance. If we be the get finance, we able to play like how championship they play. But because we're not able to get finance, and the clubs they will get now this Division 1, some are not even the paying players. So you see how difficult it be on that side. So the only way we will for manage, because for me, I look and say them they manage. Now follow like how they play. So, but the disadvantage they go to Western region. Because then they play so many games. But again, it gets some advantages.
Yeah, when they eventually get into the
when
playoffs.
you don't play so many games, when you go into the playoff, you get for no say yes. My own team don't fit past this other team. So you get advantage and you get disadvantage. But I can tell you, the disadvantage is beaucoup because some man get for look almost get for paying players them. Some games then they play at Division 1, I can tell you, me don't look Division 1 games there. If you look the whole game, all the in the command, the one whole game at 50,000.
Get taking.
Yes, get taking 50,000. How you go shape between the 2 clubs? What's in the FA they get? So it be lots of problems. Yes.
Okay, this is a discussion we'll keep for another day, and for sure we need to expand on this proper. But let's just quickly jump over to the ownership of players, transfer, and what have you. Eric, what's in the standard when it comes to players ownership, players transfer, and what have you?
In Sierra
Leone? Let's talk about standard first. Generally in football, they will narrow down to Sierra Leone.
I mean, what makes a player?
Because in Sierra Leone, I think it's about life card.
The question for ask yourself, what makes a player your player?
Okay.
We know say players they sign contract. I mean, you get a signing on fee. You sign a contract with a 1 year, 2 year contract, and then when the contract comes to an end, you either renew them or you terminate the contract. But as long as they see somebody go old 5 year or old 10 year in parent as a minor, obviously, I mean, you know, sign a player on your own, you'll get a guardian will sign them. A guardian will sign a player where they give rights to the club for use the player all the time until the player 18th birthday, because when they turn 18, that player they is mature enough for signing contract on your own. As long as you see player old 16 and sign him over to a club, He don't 18, he don't come on that club day. He go outside camp. When he want to make a transfer to another club, the club they talk say, "Now me player." I mean, this for me the magic I don't understand, because for me, even when you get players in Europe, all right, you as a club, if you not pay your player for 3 months, up to 3 months, that player ceases to be a contracted player. It can move off. It can go sign on the side for free. Now, Salon no more, you get players. Some clubs then get players and send them get players, right? Then they pay them for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The players and they go out and come. Then when they want to go down a club and say, "Now me player." I mean, for me, that's how they blame the FA.
Okay.
I think there has to be some kind of committee, some player regulation committee where they watch that. Because one, if they get the brother, they need every player, every club, or make sure say the list of players that we then get, then go register in that committee there.
Okay.
Because when they suppose they say, "Me na manager."
Get player status committee.
What makes a player? How do you own a player? If I will not say third party ownership, no day. A player only either belongs to a club, is a signed contracted player to a club, or a free player. An individual cannot own a player. You can be an agent. First, you get FIFA license agent. Now you need to get FIFA license. You can be a player's rep. What do the FA need for do in these circumstances for regulate this? They for create a unit wherein anybody will be a player rep for being registered, a pay. So that he is recognized, is on the data.
On the database.
When they say Mr. Jones, it's an Mr. Jones is a player. And before you do that, they forget some kind of training, let you understand what in player rep means, what in their responsibility and everything. So that when you represent the player, you know exactly. So when you just buy water, they buy script for you. We say, "Well, I'm a manager, I mean the manager for pay me." No, how can I pay you for a player? So what in there people they take advantage. Clubs and take advantage. I think say really and truly when football is run in that way, where some people then wholly and solely reliant on player transfer for making them survive, that's where the problem is. And this goes back to funds we talk about. I think say football is a capital intensive thing. You know, we get passion for the game. But if you put your hand on football, if you be ready, no say, you really get for spend money. In clubs and in Europe, when you will pay your player 1 to 3 months, you go to administration. They relegate you from that league. They don't say, you don't get the standard. So go down, you're not capable. This is what we should bring to this country. I know say some man will let me for this. But you know, if you're not able to pay your players then, they need a premiership, get out of it. Because now a position wherein players and rely on you, they're working. Just like people then go na offices. When they not pay them, then they strike. They walk off. That happens in football. But when they take advantage, and I think I feel sorry for the players. We, as in Bo Rangers, we don't make sure say we players them then they on a salary they've been paid.
Okay.
Whether COVID, no COVID, once we sign, if we sign a 2-year contract, we they pay for 2 years. Somehow they at the CCA players them, then they pay the way league they play. When league done and they pay again. I mean, so you decide the player on a league basis. So if you don't pay the player when league done, they're doing that period there before league play. Somebody want to play there. Now you player? No. That player needs to be your player.
So the question of Alpha Rashid is, the players, watching this program go say, "Oh my God, we angels don't come." What's in the need for do? Which kind of education we need for transfer onto the really will make them know the rise from the wrong relation to how handle them things like how institutional changes go ensure that then things like happen.
For me,
because at the end of the day, we've seen this. The players, most often than not, they don't deny people. They know, to me, to me this. But the person who pulled life card of 10 years ago, say they don't sign there. What are we talking about?
The TWRCC will get problem with. We get a player status committee within the FA. We a dormant.
Okay.
Because you will only hear them with cases like that one and they come up. Now they right even the calling players here. Make it like seminar self. We sensitize the boys because some of them boys then they take contract when they don't even know what's in the contract. They can just go because of the one play, then just go then sign. They don't can and they two hands then they sign. And we as managers, we self can use the opportunity today because if you see say now the player don't excel now, you see say another bigger team they come up for this player away. Say, I will get money from this player. You can't begin to hold on to this player. So you don't even say 10 pounds this player, so 5 million, you share like you 100 million for the player. Even though football is a business, okay, you have a profit. But we want for to do something like what I say. It's just nicely with the afraid God. That's not the first thing first. We afraid God and we do things systematically. But for me, all the blame now to the player status committee there because not their whole now and I remember we get a problem with FC Cologne during the last league for be their zone 2. Yes, the player, because he don't deal with Mohamed Kalon since 16 years of age. Just like they say. Now say they don't do more than 2 years, 3 years, FC Kalon no the player. He say he left. See, FC Kalon cannot say no. This boy we don't do 3 for more small. You know that kind of thing. But all this time now where the boy don't sit down, he was not paid.
Development fee.
Yes, so it's possible we pay development fee and we take the player. But you see, FC Kalon say, bang, this player not go down. And you can imagine we there for good 2 months or 3 months, the league they play, don't the player not they play.
So
you see,
fee.
of course, yes, development fee, and we need for the call them Babaya, we put them to a seminar for making themselves know. Some of them are at the talk and back. They're not even waiting in the play for.
Now all this will go take for this episode of Orange Football Special, brought to you by Orange and powered by Priority Solution. I've been your host, Engineer Mohammed Benson Bawa, alongside Eric Lansana, TD of Bo Rangers, and of course Alpha Rashid, Easter Lions Deputy Manager. Of course, the producer Owen, and of course Richie Bonner, the Creole striker, have been behind the scenes to ensure that they bring you pictures, of Orange Football Special. Till then, I've been your host. Keep watching.
Orange.